there's Twitter, there's Facebook, there's Google Plus. What are some other social networks out there that folks really need to know about?
You would think that this would slow down. You would think people would say, well, there's already enough social networks out there. But there's a few. The one that's interesting to watch, especially if you have female buyers, is Pinterest. It's sort of visual bookmarking, visual sharing, but you come along and you see things you like and you pin them, and that adds them to a board, and it's sort of a visual of things that you find interesting. And there's a lot of businesses already seeing revenue value in it. I just met a young lady upstairs who sells wholesale bridal supplies and bridal gowns and all this sort of thing.
Okay.
Well, there's a lot of women in there planning their wedding, and they're using Pinterest to pin the things they like. And this is now outperforming Bing and Yahoo as search reference to her site.
Oh, really?
So it's not just a pretty face. It is 70-something% female users, and there's very few guys on there, and I don't know that that'll change, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Tom Peters has said for years that if you're not selling to women, then you're crazy, and if you're not selling to the boomer set, you're crazy.
Right.
And it turns out that the technology to use Pinterest is very people-friendly, and it's easy for someone who maybe isn't tech-savvy to play with.
Oh, interesting. And so, speaking of Pinterest, how could you mentioned this bridal company using it, but in general, how should small businesses approach it?
It's an area to curate, and so when you're making the unit of measurement there is called a board. So think of it as just a web page, and if you put interesting information up there, it's visual. So first off, if you're sharing a web page from your own website and it's got something that appeals to the soap and personal health and personal cleanliness, let's say. I just met a woman who sells soap upstairs, and she would find other things, maybe spa products, and she would say, these are interesting spa products, these are ones we use that are other companies, but then she'd also promote her own in there and say, when we sell soap, this is our soap, this is why we like it. And then the way it's used is that other people come and look at that board, or they're searching in general for something, and they'll repin, which means I'll take what this person shared and put it on my board to think about buying it later. And so then this becomes a reminders of commerce. So you can use it for planning events. You can use it for thinking of gifts all throughout the year for holidays. I asked my mom the secret of how do you buy thoughtful gifts, and she said you listen all year long.
Absolutely.
And I thought,
absolutely.
I didn't even know. I'm a horrible gift buyer, and now I've learned. So Terry, that's what I would do, is I would start keeping a pin for everything I think would be interesting to buy for people.